Hamilton, and of course Bryce Alford again. Those guys combined to turn it over 16 times, to your point that you just made. Tony Parker was a beast with a 19-19. Thomas Welsh emerged in that game. Cal Poly gives you a three-guard look as well, and I would hasten to say, Don, that the guy they really look to here is Joel Alwich, number 25. He's a senior, top 10 in rebounding and blocking.
Second in the country in turnovers per game, and a lot of that was dictated by how they played. They're playing a little bit faster, but UCLA's still going to have to be patient on the defensive end and guard for most of the clock.
We would say that was Nawaba jumping center, but you noticed at 6'4", he literally just stood there. And UCLA will get on the offense here right away.
Look for a lot of different defensive looks from Cal Poly.
And that one doesn't work quite yet on Parker.
Well, again, the more he plays well, the better he's going to play, and it certainly can't hurt his confidence to have 19 and 19 in the first game.
Cal Poly can shoot. That's Taylor Sutlive. He had 11 points in their game against UNLV that they think they really should have won.
But even that right there is different from the past. Literally, up until this year, they would use the entire clock on every possession. Now going a little bit faster. You saw it on that first possession.
Holiday to miss, but the putback goes. And down at the other end, it was a 2, not a 3 for Cal Poly. So give Thomas Welsh a bucket, 4-2 Bruins.
This is how it was early Friday, too. Welsh and Parker establishing themselves in the paint. Cal Poly has more size than Monmouth did, but still probably not enough to deal with both of those guys.
Shipley pulling up, got it. Ridge Shipley was just 1 out of 7 the other night, but he hits his first one tonight.
Well, what happens, and we talked about this the other night as well, you let these mid-majors get off to a good start, they think they can win the game.
Parker rolls it in, and a quick start for him again.
A concerted effort to establish Tony Parker. They did it on Friday. They're doing it again here tonight.
Again, Cal Poly looking to go quicker. Alwich with a 3. He only attempted 10 of them all last year, but already 5 this year. It's a big man that's worked on that long-range game. Coast to coast, Isaac Hamilton. He was 0 for 6 in the opener, but he's 1 for 1 tonight. Welcome those of you who have watched Stanford dismantle Charleston Southern. 93-59 was that final. Josh Lewin, Don McClain here in Westwood. UCLA, and a foul called here. Welcome those of you who have watched Stanford dismantle Charleston Southern. 93-59 was that final. Josh Lewin, Don McClain here in Westwood. UCLA, and a foul called here. Alex Abrams will get that for Cal Poly. But the Bruins, if you're just joining us, we've talked here, Don, about how obviously they didn't get off on the good foot with a home court loss to Monmouth, but they're out of the chute nicely here.
I like their disposition early. Again, quick turnaround. That was Friday. It's Sunday night. And that last possession, Isaac Hamilton getting one to go down. He didn't have a field goal on Friday night, so a good sign for UCLA that he gets an easy one early.
A few times that Hamilton last year had a field game, he bounced back nicely. Parker trying to win the wrestling match. This is a held ball. The possession arrow gives it to the Mustangs.
This is what's different about Tony Parker, the staying with it. You know, he got a hand on that first one, didn't get it, but he stayed with it and tied up. The other night, he was going second, third jump for putbacks. So great to see, if you're a UCLA fan, Tony Parker with that better conditioning, able to sustain it better.
And the foul is going to be called here on Parker. I think double-double last time out almost sells it short, Don. Not your garden variety, 12 points, 11 boards. He went 19-19.
Yeah, and again, I said in the open, I don't care who you're playing. That's a monster night, especially the first game of the season. But, again, he's shown flashes of that, Josh, throughout his career. He just hasn't been able to be consistent throughout his career. But I have a feeling, and we see this a lot in this conference, where a player realizes it's his last go-around, and he steps it up. And I have a feeling Tony Parker's going to do that this year. Off to a great start.
In this game tonight, 4 points, 2 boards already. They're looking for him a lot. He turns it over here.
Well, you know what'll happen, too, is they'll trust him more. They'll want to give it to him more.
Always feathers it in.
Well, that's just too easy, and I think Cal Poly surprising UCLA a little bit with just how fast they are playing. I think UCLA was prepared for if they don't get a quick one in transition, they're going to set it up and run offense. They really haven't done that yet, Cal Poly. They've gone early clock on every possession.
Well, touch pass in for Welsh, who drains it. Thomas Welsh has 4.
That's what he does. Those baseline area is his spot. He doesn't miss along that baseline.
That's paddled away by Holiday. Now the Bruins will run. Parker, yes, sir.
Well, already better decision-making for UCLA. Out in transition, some of those balls they were thrown away the other night. They're executing here early on the fast break.
Quick 3. Does not go for Sutlive. He'll try again, actually this time at Shipley, and he got it.
Well, they're going to shoot threes, and UCLA better understand that they need to get out to shooters, fight over screens, because if you leave them clean out there, they're going to knock them down.
Shipley's their version of Bryce Alford. He can heat up and stay hot. Alford banks it in. He had 22 on Friday night.
But 5 of 17.
Yeah.
And I thought shot selection was a bit of an issue for everyone, Bryce included. He was 4 for 8 from behind the line.
Kick out to Shipley missed.
I was just going to finish that point that it's important for Alford to take it when he has it, but let the game come to him. He's going to get his shots, but you can't force it.
Parker 1 on 3, got hammered, almost scored anyway.
After a disappointing loss on Friday night, you knew UCLA would come out to try and correct it. And eventually they made a run, and the game got close down the stretch, and they sent it to overtime.
Parker hits a free throw. Monmouth had a staggering total of 17 steals in that game. That's the most allowed by a Bruins team since '07.
That's a lot of steals for a college game, for any game.
Now the quick start to the season continues for Parker. Well, and, you know, every time we show Coach Alford on the bench, he looks a little bit upset, even with his team leading tonight. I think the residue of that game Friday is still with him.
Well, I think, you know, anytime home openers are a little dicey in the sense that you don't know what you're going to get. You know what you've worked on, you know who your personnel are, but you don't know how they're going to react to the lights and the other team and it being for real. And I think, you know, the problem with this Cal Poly team, even though they're playing faster than we all thought here early, they're a hard team to blow out because of how they play and their style of play. So it's not like you could have came out with this great energy and intensity and gone on a 20-2 run. That's almost impossible to do against Cal Poly because of the way they play. So now you're going to have to settle into the game plan and play because Cal Poly's not going to go away. And this is the best Cal Poly team ever.
It's a team that made the tournament a couple of years ago with a surprising run through their conference.
The most veteran team, the most athletic team, most experienced team. And a lot of people think this is the best Cal Poly team ever.
They got some athletes they hadn't had in a while. One of them right there. That's Luke Meikle, a transfer from Gonzaga.
Yeah, if you were recruited by Gonzaga, you're probably pretty good. Didn't work out there, but this is a perfect spot for him to flourish.
Bolden's on the floor wearing 43 and keeps it alive. Hamilton missed, but it's good to see Bolden finally on the floor.
Probably playing a little fast. You know, it's your first game. You didn't play all last year, so he's going to have to settle into the game here. Normal for players who haven't played in that long.
Held out for disciplinary reasons for the opener. Shipley's 3, air ball. And the first rebound in college play for Jonah Bolden.
Different looks almost every possession from Cal Poly. They started out and pushed out 3-2 as Alford knocks down the 3. That time more of a compacted 3-2 zone. Joe Calero told us that he's going to try and keep UCLA off balance with different defensive looks.
Meikle was stripped, and the reach-in foul called on Bolden. And a 3 from it. This guy is certainly not a surprise.
Well, he's got unlimited range, and that's why I say he's got to let the game come to him. If they establish Parker, Welsh, Bolden even early, that will open up the perimeter for him. But if he's hunting shots and forcing them, you know, that kind of can snowball like it did the other night. I felt like Bryce, as good as he is, was getting frustrated that he wasn't open.
UCLA turns it over, and well, that'll get you an eye roll from the coach right there. He did. He lit into those guys. He talked to the players themselves. They say, oh, yeah, we heard all about it. It was a sloppy start, but it is just that, a start. It is one game out of 30-plus.
And here's the thing. Their schedule only gets tougher. I mean, they have a monster non-conference schedule. Gonzaga, Kentucky, North Carolina, potentially Kansas and Maui. So you need to get it right here quickly. Good effort.
Out of the scrum, Meikle keeps it high. And Bolden alters the shot. And another foul called on Morgan. He's hot. He's furious. He got right there with Johnny Higgins, the official that called him.
Well, there you see the value of Bolden changing the shot and then getting the rebound. But great effort on the floor. When it comes up, see we get a shot at Bolden. I think got a piece of that shot, gets a rebound, and then they're out in transition.
Parker leads them in scoring so far, but everybody's in on the act. The first miss for Tony Parker.
Transition defense was an issue the other night.
Oh my, Reese Morgan drains one.
Morgan from deep. Transition defense for UCLA. You know, when you turn it over 23 times, you better get back if you turn it over. And that was the other problem. They were turning it over and then not sprint back and stopping the ball, which led to a lot of easy ones.
That's a kick right there. We were just talking about the schedule, Don. Let's check it out here. It's presented by Jared. A challenging schedule all season long for UCLA. And by the way, this game tonight is, believe it or not, part of the Maui Invitational.
And you see there, if they beat UNLV and Kansas beats Chaminade, they'll play Kansas in Maui, top 5 team. So schedule would only get tougher if that happened. But I think good. You know, it's all changed now. You can't have Cupcake City in November and December because you get dinged for that come tournament time, tournament selection time. Coaches understand that now. You have to have a good schedule, get that RPI.
Good look. Bolden, it went, and he is fouled. That's an odd way to get your first bucket in college basketball. Looked like it almost squirted out of his hand like a bar of soap, but it went down anyway.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. Ball screen. Hamilton with another nice find, and Bolden going straight to the rim, takes the hit, and finishes the play.
A three-point play for Jonah Bolden.
You know, a lot of people, Josh, forgot about him because he didn't play last year. He was a highly regarded guy and a good get for UCLA, but he didn't qualify last year. And I have a feeling UCLA is going to be better than people think because of that fact, that people don't realize that Bolden's back and how good he was before sitting out a year.
Well, of course, the Bruins needing to replace Powell and Looney, and it's almost like he gives them a little bit of both of those skill sets kind of poured in together.
Probably not the rebounder that Looney was. Looney was a +1 rebounder.
Rebound right there for Bolden, and UCLA runs. The lob to Parker, the catch, and a big shot in.
Just the effort play from Parker, that's what's so different. But again, it has to become habit. It has to become part of who he is. We've seen stretches over the last 3 years, but we haven't seen the start like this out of Tony Parker.
Hamilton runs it.
Running again, Parker.
Prince Ali couldn't get it to go. Freshman from back in the Bronx, New York City kid. Three the other way is drained by Taylor Sutlive.
Well, that's the transition D I'm talking about. It's great if you're back, but if you don't match up the shooters, especially against this Cal Poly team, they're going to hurt you. That's one way for Cal Poly to stay in this game, to get transition threes.
Beautiful.
Think they're going to be running some pick and pop this year with Bolden?
I'm telling you, between Bolden and Boatwright, right here in the LA area, you're going to see that inside-outside game from youngsters sparkle. Bennett kind of forced it there. Ryan Bennett still working his way back. Had a couple of injury issues.
Right. Joe Calero told us he needs 6 weeks before he's back to being kind of up to speed, conditioning-wise.
Bolden left that three short. Frenetic start here, especially for Cal Poly, as they keep on hitting their threes. Sutlive again.
Well, that's the other thing. Party talked about transition defense, the miscommunication. This happened on Friday night, too. Guys getting lost on defense and leading to wide open threes for the other team.
UCLA's biggest lead was a dozen. And another kick. And that'll get us to break here. Show you a little Jonah Bolden.
Finally, Jonah Bolden gets some game action, and he's not going to disappoint.
This Tony Parker, very different player. 19 rebounds in that opener. The disappointing loss to Monmouth. Monmouth staying in town. They'll play USC tomorrow. You can catch that on Pac-12 Network. Nwaba. Up and in off the glass.
That's what they do, that dribble drive, and you got to guard them. There's either kickouts, and if the second defender doesn't come, they're going to try and finish. Nwaba, nice finish on that possession.
Open man, and Oleshinsky just couldn't finish it.
They like him. Played some minutes on Friday, but they think he's going to be able to contribute as well. Get a three. And another versatile big guy that can step out and knock down shots.
Ryan Bennett trying to muscle his way up. And Parker another board. Not quite on a 19-19 pace yet, but UCLA is surviving here, 35-31.
Cal Poly's got a little more size to deal with him. Nice turn.
Oh, and he almost got it. Drew the foul.
He was a man amongst boys on Friday night. Monmouth just didn't have the size to deal with him. But again, there's example after example with Parker. Steps out, screen roll, catch. And spin back, right shoulder, left hand finish. I mean, these are plays that we haven't really seen out of him. And I do think that the longer this keeps going, the more confident he's going to get. And the more his teammates will trust him. I said that earlier. You know, guards will throw it into bigs when they think that they're going to get something out of it. And the more Tony continues to produce, the more these guards are going to want to throw it into him.
All right, so now the second half of that, he's 2 out of 4 on free throws tonight. It was 58% last year. If he's going to get to the line a lot,
that's right.
You got to start to hit him.
That's right. And do other teams start to put him on the line?
Off the ball. Got a foul called on UCLA, and that's Oleshinsky who picks it up. And you've talked about it, Don. They're just being very assertive. Are these officials, not just here, but all across the country? You make some contact, you're going to hear the whistle.
Well, I vowed tonight, Josh, not to jump into it. I spent a good portion of Friday night's game discussing how I felt about all the rules changes and how the game's officiated now. But to answer your question or answer your statement, yes, they are calling it tighter this year.
The other rule change I want to ask you about in a moment has to do with the shot clock. And I'm wondering if you think that is going to make any difference at all. Nwaba goes 1 on 3 and can't finish. Not that either team has really milked clock at any point tonight. We're up and down, back and forth.
No, I don't think either team's taking it all the way down yet.
Parker, the offensive rebound. The turnaround. Airballed it. Oleshinsky in trouble. And, of course, we get a whistle. The State Farm halftime report will be coming up very soon. Kate Rooney will get you current on Stanford and how they did against Charleston Southern. Spoiler alert, they did very well. And a lot to tell you about, and we'll even clean things up from that UCLA-Washington State football game, too, all coming up on the State Farm halftime report.
Do I think a shorter shot clock is going to increase scoring?
Yeah.
No. Do I think that it's going to increase pace of play? Probably a little. Do I think it's going to change the way teams play? A decent amount. I think you're going to see a lot of teams incorporate some soft zone presses to try and get the other team to burn some clock before they get into their half-court offense. But do I think it's going to increase scoring, which is why they said they made the change? I don't think it's going to increase scoring.
Alex Abrams a rebound. Oaks Christian, right down the street from your house.
That's right.
I want to go give Don a visit later.
UCLA changing their defenses tonight, too. They did that last year. They're probably 50-50 zone and man.
Nwaba with the penetration draws the foul.
They got really good at their zone last year to where at the end they were probably playing more zone than man UCLA was. They have more depth this year. Part of the reason they played more zone last year was they didn't have any depth. Now they have players, so they can afford to play a little more man and guard against foul trouble because they have people to bring in now.
UCLA 22-14 last year, 11-7 in conference. They were memorably the last team in the big dance. They danced all the way to the Sweet 16 before Gonzaga shot them down. Bruins were 16-1 at home last year, Don, but they are 0-1 this year.
I guess they got to rip off 16 in a row now.
But Cal Poly is it? I know it doesn't sound like it just when you say, "Hey, it's Cal Poly." They're a legit competitor here tonight.
Oh yeah.
Cal Poly was in the big dance themselves 2 years ago.
Well, and that's what concerned the UCLA coaches, is they thought they'd win on Friday night, and now you got another team that's very similar. And what does a loss like that do to your team as well on Friday night? You have to lose a little bit of confidence. You know you didn't play well, but you still lost to Monmouth at home. So what does that do to your psyche? And from what I've seen in this first half, I think UCLA's come out with a lot more purpose. Doesn't look like their confidence is shaking, but here's the deal. They're only up 4 right now.
Holiday runs. Holiday, yes.
Force the issue a little bit. Long rebounds. You know Cal Poly's going to shoot a lot of threes, so you got to make them pay on the other end if they miss by getting it down the court.
Holiday going all-time at 70 20 years later.
He's athletic. He can get it down there. Didn't shoot it well the other night, but if you get those kinds of looks, you're going to shoot a higher percentage for sure.
Ridge Shipley at the line. He's part of the Texas pipeline for Cal Poly. From outside of Dallas.
They're going to play 3 games this year in Texas, too. Texas A&M Corpus Christi, Texas San Antonio, and then finishing with Texas A&M. So 3-game Texas trip for them.
Ball out of bounds in their trip here down to Westwood. They're hanging right in there, are the Mustangs. 39-33. Points in the paint in this one, by the way, 20-8 for UCLA. A lot of that is Parker, who was just massive in the game on Friday night.
I get the sense they're really doing a better job of looking for him tonight. He kind of manufactured a lot of his own points on Friday.
Hamilton inside the arc and had only 1 to shoot. They get it back. They try again with Welch.
If he's on the baseline, I don't care if he's at 6 feet or 8 feet like he just was, or 17. He does not miss from the baseline.
They're going to get a Hamilton on a little touch foul here. Take it back to Welch.
Well, the extra pass from Holiday, and that's not an easy little quick catch and shoot either. You got to catch it and find the rim with some touch from that close a range. But he's able to do it. You see, though, Josh, what Cal Poly's doing. They're driving because they know they're going to get to the line. They're in the bonus. You're a smart offensive player right now. You drive looking for contact as you walk straight to the free throw line.
The guards, who turned it over a combined 16 times Friday night. Right now, anyway, Don. 10 assists, 2 turnovers. There's another assist. It goes to Parker.
Here's what I like about what Hamilton's doing right now. 0 for 6 on Friday. A lot of guys would have come out and try and establish themselves again, try and make some shots. He's looking to play make for other people. He's had 3 or 4 really good looks here in the first half.
Meikle out to Shipley. Shot clock at 10. Hit one of those earlier. That was Welch that tipped it forward. Here come the Bruins. Kept alive by Hamilton.
UCLA can push this out even more heading into halftime.
A travel on Alford for the second time. He looked like he was a gopher trying to burrow his way.
It's just not there.
Yeah.
It's not there. Pull it out, reset, run different offense.
He was trying to squeeze in between 2 black jerseys there and then lost possession. Dad trying not to lose his mind right now. Too many turnovers. That was the anthem from Friday.
Not a ton of turnovers in this first half, but Cal Poly with 5 made threes already is kind of keeping them hanging around. UCLA shooting over 50%. You would think they'd be up more. Another 3.
That's Sutlive again. He's got 3 threes.
You got to know that by now. If you didn't know it in the scouting report, after he hits a couple, you got to be paying attention to him. That's too easy.
Hamilton feeds Welch, and that's been a nice little combo tonight.
every time they've gone inside, something good's happened for UCLA. They've either scored or gotten fouled. Welsh and Parker. We got Bolden on the water.
Meikle with a miss. And it stays right here for Cal Poly. And another reminder, Kate Rooney is soon to be with you. Our State Farm halftime report. Get you highlights from Stanford's win. Again, a little cleanup for UCLA on aisle 5 and what happened with Washington State on the football field.
They don't get any tougher than that loss.
Meikle, the fadeaway.
He's a good-looking player. You can see why he went to Gonzaga. Didn't pan out there, but he's going to be a nice player for Cal Poly.
Cal Poly had a game late last year that was a final.
Marty Wilson went to high school.
Where's that?
Simi Valley High School.
Where did you go to high school?
Simi Valley High School.
I did not know that.
Right.
You guys hang out?
He was actually a little older than me. I missed him when I was a sub. That was back when you had 3-year high school.
Another steal for Hamilton. Dribbling through traffic. The dish.
Another good find from Hamilton.
And Parker up strong. Welsh almost able to keep it hot. He's playing Twister in the paint right now with Zach Gordon.
Cal Poly's got numbers.
But there's a foul in the paint as the shot got away.
Well, the block on Hamilton, was he in the restricted area? That's another rule change. The restricted area is bigger. It's now 4 feet instead of 3. No, he was outside. He was just not established, it didn't look like. Cal Poly will go back to the free throw line.
Hamilton, an LA native. And to replace the scoring and slashing of Norman Powell, Hamilton seems suited for that role, but I think anybody expecting him to just jump right in and take all those stats, well, that's asking a lot.
Not as explosive as Powell was, not the slasher that Norman Powell was. More of a true two-guard in the sense that he spots up a lot. But I'll tell you what's been impressive tonight is his playmaking. There's another, they didn't finish the play on that last possession, but another nice find by Isaac Hamilton.
And another rebound for Parker. Hurtling towards the double-double again.
15-second differential. Let's see if UCLA maybe goes 2 for 1.
Alford draws the foul this time. I will not tee you up for the hand check foul commentary, I promise.
I said my piece.
UCLA right now, from Parker, has 13 points, 9 boards. We're in the first half.
He's right on his way again. And you know what I like about it? It's not like he's gotten a bunch of half-court touches either where they're setting up and throwing it into him. He is manufactured on the offensive board. He's ran in transition. And that's how you pile up stats, is with effort and scoring in different ways.
All for doing what he does so well, simply shoot the basketball. UCLA close to 50 by halftime.
Cal Poly going to take this all the way down, it looks like.
Yeah, they're able to do that. With about a 1.5 differential here.
Probably going to drive it, though. I would try and get that hand check call and go to the line again.
Kawabo with 4, driving, blocked from behind. Right down the back of Zach Gordon with 3.3 to go. UCLA can take it down.
Great job by Ali on Nwaba to not put his hands on him, and then Parker comes over with the help. That's what you got to do. Eliminate the hand check and then have the big rotate over to contest a shot.
Alford at the horn. So a 10-point advantage for the Bruins. Just a little caveat, just a little asterisk on that. They were up 18 on.
Looking to pick guys up. Got to get out there and guard those guys.
Joe Calero in his 7th year coaching the Mustangs came over from Seattle University where he oversaw their transition from D2 to D1. He got a foul 8 seconds in the second half.
I think guys, until it happens multiple times, just forget that you cannot put your hand on them. And what I've noticed in watching games here early and doing the game on Friday night here, It's almost like the officials call it even tighter in the second half than they do in the first half, as Wells not throwing that free throw line jumper.
Give him a dozen. Nwaba trying to back it out now for Cal Poly. That's the guy they'll need to get going. That's Joel Awich. Loose ball foul call.
Yeah, Awich was non-existent in that first half. 2 points, 1 rebound. Only played 8 minutes.
That's what we get for telling you to look for him right off the jump.
And that's the thing. If you're a mid-major team coming in here and you're going to knock off UCLA, you got to have guys have performances above and beyond, not less, especially your main guys.
Awich got him in foul trouble. That's part of why he only played the 8 minutes. He picked up his third just a few seconds into the second half.
A lot of times it's hard as a player to really get back into the game when you get that early foul trouble.
Let's start talking about Aaron Holiday a little bit. The freshman from Chatsworth, California, plays with a bit of a chip on his shoulder, Don, as a younger brother of Pac-12 royalty.
And a little more poised tonight. I thought a little out of character for him Friday night, playing a little more, I guess composed is the best word. Had 6 turnovers. Better with the ball tonight.
Now cross-court pass from Holiday, finding Alford. And again, if you touch somebody, you get called. So Taylor Sutlive finding that out.
Driving kick, 2-bounce, 3-bounce dribble for Holiday. That mid-range game we don't see all that often anymore. But Holiday gets it to go down.
Off a high bouncer, rebound 11 for Parker already. Hamilton's 3.
He just cannot get it going from the perimeter, Hamilton.
When he does get it going, he can really stay there. He had that 36-point game against USC last March.
Pac-12 tournament.
Awich got it.
Good defense by Parker. He didn't put his hands on him to get that hand check foul contested. That was just better offense by Awich.
Holiday swiveling to get 3, and he drains it.
Another mid-range shot, and kind of splitting the defensive double team, getting to a spot.
I'll get another foul up over top.
Keep your dribble on this ball screen. Big comes over, cross him back, get to that 12-foot area, knock it down.
That foul went on Parker, by the way. That'll be his second. If he stays out of foul trouble, he is steamrolling.
Yeah, that's a good point, Josh. We haven't talked about that. That's been somewhat of an issue in his career as well. Picking up cheap fouls, not being able to play the minutes that they want him to.
Sutlive, well, he's been absolutely on fire from beyond the arc.
How is he open, though? He made 3 threes in the first half. Wouldn't he be the first thing on the whiteboard at halftime? And comes out, he's wide open again.
Last year he was healthy. That was the year before last. He was 45% from beyond the arc, talking about Taylor Sutlive.
Yeah, but if he's coming off that clean, not to discount him at all, but most Division I college players are going to knock that down.
Bruins by 11. Largest lead was a dozen in the first half. This is Nwaba. And out to the freshman lefty Shed. And here's Hamilton. All the way and touched from behind, so that will be the foul. The freshman's learning here. Jalen Shed has 3 fouls now, and they've all been little reach-ins just like that.
Here you go. 5 fouls in the first 3 minutes of this second half. I feel like UCLA is adjusted, and Cal Poly kind of keeps forgetting about the hand check.
Welsh, boy, what a night for him. He averaged 3.5 a game last year. That's not going to be the case this year.
Well, you knew his role was going to expand this year, and he's always been a pretty good shooter. He just needed the opportunity, and he's going to get it this year. But off to another guy that's off to a great start here early in the year.
He's got 14 tonight. Parker's got 13 to go with 11 rebounds. And Welsh got a piece of that one. Alford runs it for UCLA. Welsh
I'm telling you, he does not miss from the baseline. I came to practice, and they were doing a drill from the. I'm telling you, he does not miss from either baseline.
Oh, it rattles one in here, and Cal Poly takes a quick timeout. They had to figure out how to deny Welsh, but boy, he's 8 out of 9 in this game.
A lot of 7-footers.
To the date, UCLA was up 51-33 on these guys and lost. So this suddenly becomes a big possession here. Just kind of stem the tide if they can. And the coach's son says, I'll help you out, Pops.
And I bet you Joe Calero reminded them of that, of what you just said, that they were down 18 3 years ago and we won the game. Let's do it again.
Held ball possession arrow favors the Mustangs. Joe Calero in his 7th year, and again, one time has pushed his team into the promised land of the middle of March. They lost to Wichita State once they got into the big dance.
You know, the problem for Cal Poly this year in particular is the Big West is really good. Irvine's very good. They made the tournament last year. Long Beach is good again. Hawaii's good this year. So as good and as experienced as this Cal Poly team is, they got a lot of comp in the Big West Conference this year.
Meikle wiggling inside on Bolden, who commits the foul. This could be a three-point play.
Well, look at the bench of Cal Poly and look at the bench of UCLA. They're up every time they score. They want to believe that they can come all the way back and win this thing. Good patience by Meikle. Bolden with some contact up top.
Meikle off the bench in double digits here for Cal Poly.
Plenty of time left, too. 12 minutes. Only down 2 possessions, Cal Poly.
Mustangs lost by only 2 to UNLV in their opener. UCLA lost by 3 in OT to Monmouth. Walford's pass is not going to make Dad any happier. As again, that guard play is starting to slip. And the Mustangs are hanging in. And it's 3 now on Welsh. 1 out of 2 for Bennett. Zach Gordon comes back in for the Mustangs now. Bennett out. And again, he's just not in condition now to go for more than 2-3 minutes at a time.
Big body, though.
Well, pass is hooked to nobody.
I mean, those are the plays that drives coaches nuts. And we showed a shot of Steve Alford hitting his clipboard a few minutes ago. It's just not necessary. Get up in the air to pass. You're taught that at a young age. You don't jump to pass. And Bryce Alford did it a few possessions ago, and Bolden just did it again.
Couple of good three-point shooters on the floor right now. Meikle, boy, oh boy, they are 10 out of 18 from beyond the arc.
I'm telling you, we've seen it before where a team comes in, they knock them down early. Maybe the defense isn't as sharp as it should be, and all of a sudden they think they're going to make them all. And that's what Cal Poly's looking at right now. They're confident for behind the line.
Freshman Holiday the miss, and here come the Mustangs again. Chance to shoot now for another freshman, Jalen Shedd.
Well, you're 10 for 18. You come in this building, it means you're not afraid. But I really believe getting hot early has helped them now. Meikle, no hesitation, and then Shedd. Somebody's got to stop the ball for UCLA. He gets the contact, he gets to the line, and all of a sudden we're a one-possession game. 9:28 to go. UCLA's got a problem again here tonight.
Prince Ali will come in now. Big athletic guard who brings a lot of versatility. Stays at 67-64.
Who's going to take control here for UCLA? Who's going to step up and make some plays?
Hamilton's on the bench. Parker's back in, we know. Welsh still on the bench. He's got 3 fouls. There's a foul on Meikle. Trying to body up with Parker.
Still think you can play inside out. You dump it into Parker or Bolden. Doesn't mean they have to try and score, make the defense collapse, and then kick it out.
3 in double figures for UCLA. Welsh and Parker, the big guys, and Bryce Alford has a dozen in this game. Another touch foul. And this is on Sutlive. Third on him. You talked about it in their game against UNLV, where the Mustangs had 5 different guys with 4 fouls. Nobody really ever left the game. Nobody fouled out, but everybody had to play tentatively down the stretch.
And both teams in the bonus now. So any touch fouls, any hand checks, you're going to the line.
Alford to Parker. And a foul before the shot. That time they get Meikle.
You know, with how the game's being officiated now, it's hard for teams to make runs. You know, runs are fueled by momentum and up and down, and if it's being stopped with foul calls, it's really hard for either way. If you're up to make a run to push it out or coming back to really make a run when there's that much stoppage.
Traveling is the call. The Lightning quit Jalen Shedd a little too quick for his own good.
Well, Cal Poly different. This is much different than we've seen in the past. We talked about it in the first half. They're not using as much clock, and I think Coach Calero is going to have to live with some turnovers, learning how to play a completely different style.
Yeah, that's a good point. You just don't snap a whole new way of playing into place.
Especially guys that have been in the program. The young guys, it's a little different because it's all new.
Alford trying to clean up his own mess. That ball is on the end line and out of bounds back to the Mustangs here. The last 5 games that Cal Poly played last year, Don, the average final score was 53-51. This one is already in the mid-60s, and there's 8 minutes left.
Well, they've come all the way back. It's a one-possession game. UCLA better hope that Cal Poly doesn't get the lead, because then they're really going to believe they can win this thing.
Meikle stripped of the ball, diving after it. And when they get a timeout, they were trying to. Travel instead. Johnny Higgins and Vern Harris got together and decided that's the call to make.
Remember, it can happen. What are you going to do about it tonight? What kind of plays are you going to make? Can you dig in defensively and get the stops that are necessary?
Wonder, too, when we'll see Welsh back on the court. He's got 3 fouls. Parker playing with 3 fouls right now, as is Isaac Hamilton. Here's Holiday. Long-range shots are just not dropping for UCLA in the second half.
And Holiday's got to get comfortable from behind the line. He had a shot to tie it and send it into double overtime, a wide-open look.
Speaking of wide-open looks, and you said it earlier, they've got to get a body on Reese Morgan. All the way back here. On
all the Cal Poly shooters, they have just come off too clean. It happened the other night, and I just said about learning from what happened. They haven't learned, because Cal Poly is getting quality looks from behind the line to tie this thing up.
Welsh getting ready to come back in. They have the inside-out game working very well when Welsh was on the floor. Prince Ali into Parker. Muscles up and draws the foul. Go back to that 3 at the other end, hit by the sharpshooting Reese Morgan.
Well, if it's not him, it's Sutlive. I mean, you know, they're not running really complex offense. It's dribble, drive, kick out, and UCLA is just getting lost. And if they're going to win this game, they got to stay attached to these shooters, because that's really what's not only kept them in the game, but what's brought them all the way back is their ability to knock down threes.
11 out of 19 from beyond the arc, but so many of them, Don, to your point, have been pretty much unchallenged.
Yeah, and UCLA is going to have to get better defensively. There's no doubt about that. That's one thing. But a lot of teams early in the season, have work to do on the defensive end. But UCLA, their main area is guarding that three-point line. It's happened 2 games in a row now.
First lead of the night for the Mustangs.
And look at their bench. They believe now. I said it a few minutes ago. If they got the lead, they're really going to think they can win now. How does UCLA respond? Look at their bench. How's their body language for the second game in a row? A mid-major coming back on them.
Boy, Ali trying to step out, knock one down, and back to the other end. Boy, Meikle off the bench with 16 for the Mustangs.
Two good ball fakes there. One on the shot fake and then the fake kick out. puts it up off the window. Nice play.
See, the Bruins have gone cold here, having a hit from the floor in about 4.5 minutes.
Is it their execution or is it the Cal Poly defense?
Or could it be both? Their best player, arguably, is Allwich, and he's been on the bench for forever. Playing with 4 fouls, so he's not playing right now. Cal Poly keeps this ball with 5:41 to go.
Here's what Cal Poly's doing. Monmouth did it the other night as well. Meikle, a stretch 4, a guy that can play on the perimeter, taking Parker out on the floor, and Parker's not used to guarding that far away from the paint. Advantage Cal Poly in that matchup.
Now the Bruins will get it back here, trying to reestablish. And again, you have to look, I would think, Don, for Welsh, who's 8 out of 10 when they feed it into him tonight.
Well, it's a zone Cal Poly's playing, so you got to move it, you got to get it into the middle. That's a contested 3 from Alford.
Hamilton finally breaks that drought. First time in about 5 minutes a field goal has gone down for the Bruins.
Looked like that ball got tipped on the way up, too. Like they blocked it. Might have helped it go in. There's that matchup again.
Meikle giving it away, pounds to Parker. The ball almost given away. But it will stay right here for the Mustangs with 4:58 to go in regulation.
Well, the thing is, if you're going to keep Parker out there in a not-so-great matchup against Meikle, you got to give him the ball on the other end and make Meikle guard him in the paint.
Cal Poly 11 of 19 from beyond the arc. That's impossible to try, but no foul called.
Clock was running down.
Alford tried to get it to Welsh in another turnover. Meikle, Sutlive, Morgan, 3 3-point shooters on the floor for the Mustangs here. Shot clock under 10. Meikle. Not so friendly with the roll, and another rebound for Parker.
Pretty good look, though. Welsh was matched up on Meikle that time. They got him to miss.
They lost a 59-44 lead to the Bruins, and now maybe they'll roll with Parker getting going.
What's wrong with that? If you're UCLA, Tony Parker at the foul line, one dribble, left hand, left shoulder, right hand finish. Stay with that play.
Meikle for 3. And the rebound for Holiday at 6'1".
But another good look for Meikle, right? Didn't get it to go down.
Holiday penetrates. Rolls out, but he's fouled.
Tony Parker has proven he's ready for his senior year.
Big first half. And a quiet second half so far as Holiday misses the first free throw.
Well, it's important for UCLA with the lead, albeit only a 1-possession lead, to dig in defensively. They cannot let Cal Poly get loose, especially from behind the line. So the focus isn't about what they're going to do on the offensive end, but you got to get stops here to close this thing out.
Sutlive and Morgan are a combined 8 of 9 from beyond the arc. Those are the guys to watch.
I can't believe Morgan's not in right now, to be honest.
Yeah. Another pretty good shooter. Shipley is in there, though. Always back in with 4 fouls. Nawaba takes a tumble, lands on the line, and it's back to UCLA.
How was that no call? He went way up in the air. Looked like there was some contact.
Joe Claro's asking the same question over there.
Comes from behind the line, gets up in the air. Looked like Holiday got underneath him a little bit, but break for UCLA.
And they put it away here. They put it away, a 15-point lead.
Yeah, that's a foul.
Yeah, trying to back in, essentially, on defense. It's kind of weird, but that's the ball that's going against Poly.
Well, Shipley made it look like he was going for a loose ball, but went to the body of Parker and knocked him down.
And now it's all about knocking down free throws. We talked about this earlier, Don. I think is worth mentioning again. Parker's going to take a lot of free throws this year. Got to make them.
Yeah, when you become more the focal point of the offense, you have the ball in your hands more, and the other team can decide. You know, there's probably going to be some teams that Parker struggles from the line that say, hey, anytime he touches it, let's go foul him.
4 out of 8 from the line tonight. 4 out of 9 from the line tonight.
And they missed some free throws the other night late, too, which allowed Monmouth to eventually send that game to overtime as well.
You wondered where Morgan was. Here he is. The putback goes. It's a 2-point game.
Straight line drive. You're so concerned about Morgan making a three that you overcommit on the closeout. Morgan went straight to the rim. Bennett cleans it up.
Out it goes to Alford. 2:17 left in regulation. Parker cleaning up, but he missed.
You know, Welsh has got to look at the basket too. When they dump it in there to him, he's got to at least give it a look.
Oh my! Nawaba travels with the basketball.
How did Parker miss that layup though? Point blank, right at the front of the rim. That's why you what, Josh? What am I going to say? That's why you go up and dunk that.
Yes, that's
so
right.
that there's no way you miss it.
16-point, 13-rebound game for Parker.
UCLA's still got to play, too. It looks like they're trying to shorten this game, but way too many possessions left.
And you're dead on about Welsh.
I'm telling you, in the baseline, he doesn't miss, so might want to get it to him down there again.
Mustangs won for their last 6 and a couple of turnovers, too. Their three-point artist missing, though. Morgan, no. They corral the long rebound. And they set him up again. Morgan missing twice. One-hand rebound for Welsh.
Wow, he had 2 pretty good looks. Welsh is smart. He knows he's good from down there. He gets himself to a spot, turn. That's why I said on that last possession, he's got to at least turn and look at it. You don't have to shoot it, but when you turn and look, it brings defenders to you. Then you could kick it out, but that time, the quick catch and shoot.
This guy quickly is emerging. Thomas Welsh, 19 points tonight. He had 12 with 10 rebounds in the opener Friday night.
Well, getting even more of an opportunity. One guy we haven't talked about, Gigi Golemund, who's going to be out for a while, is kind of penciled in as a starter at power forward. He may have taken those minutes. So with him out, Welsh is going to play even more until he gets back.
Just a sophomore from Loyola High School. First former Loyola Cub to come to this campus to play basketball since Toby Bailey about 20 years ago.
He was pretty good.
Yes, he was. 6-point lead for the Bruins. They want Morgan shooting that three, but he's missed his last 3 threes. Hamilton coast to coast. And a loose ball foul.
I mean, that's basketball IQ right there. Hamilton, if you had a wide open layup, sure, go ahead. If not, pull it back, run some clock. You're up 6, and then Holiday to foul on the back end of that to stop the clock, put Cal Poly on the line. I mean, those are the types of down, looked a little more tired, and weren't able to get them to go down. It's not over yet, but if UCLA can make some free throws, they're probably going to hold on.
Well, it's 1 out of 2 for Alford. A couple of great free throw shooters, and missed consecutively there. Morgan and Alford. Nothing dropping for the Mustangs all of a sudden. 1 for their last 9.
Yeah, I think, this early in the season, this competitive of a game, we see that a lot where a team's down, they come all the way back, but run out of gas getting over the hump. Kind of feel like that's what happened here with Cal Poly.
You ever seen your laptop battery drain or your cell phone battery drain at a ridiculous clip, and you're looking at it go by percentage down? You're saying, why is it draining so fast? And that's got to be what it feels like for Joe Calero right now.
Well, and that's, that goes back to another thing as well. You live by the three, die by the three, and they committed to being a three-point shooting team down the stretch. And you're not going to make all of them.
Well, they've missed their last 6. They have been 11 out of 18. But since Cal Poly took the lead, the Bruins on a 12-4 run. Always knocks one down. And a quick timeout for the Mustangs. They get back to within 7 with 45 seconds to go.
Well, they're
and kind of a stealth, close to triple-double for Isaac Hamilton. He's not going to get it, but 8 points, 7 assists, and 9 boards. That's quite a night for Hamilton.
I just like the fact, and I said it before, that he wasn't forcing his own offense. A bad decision a couple possessions ago by going all the way to the rim, but he's played a nice game setting up his teammates.
So only 4 out of 12 from the field. Remember, he was 0 for 6 on Friday night. But to your point from earlier, Don, he's not scared. He had an 0 for 6 game against North Carolina last year. Or, excuse me, against, it was against Carolina last year. Then it came right back and hit for 21.
Remember last year, he had sat out the entire year before.
The block from behind with a foul called. Shooting the 3, Morgan.
But again, time and score. You're up 9 with 40 seconds to go. Why are you putting yourself in a position for them to call it? Now you give them 3 free throws and some more hope.
Well, and you can look at that replay and it looked like all ball, but why even try?
You don't need a block shot at this point. What you need is them to miss, and you get the rebound and then go make some free throws. You don't need the spectacular play. You need the solid defensive play and securing the rebound.
Morgan had missed his first 2 free throws, and that's noteworthy because he's a career 88% guy. And, well, you figure this was 3 points easy at the line here, but the best they'll do is 2. And it's barely 2. Oh, wide open is Welsh. Put it away. He does. 2-hand stump.
That should do
Morgan's long-range 3 goes. Not quite yet. 4 threes in the game for Morgan. And still 1 timeout. 16 out of 25 from the line.
Part of the early season stuff, Bryce Alford missing free throws. He'll settle in.
And reaching in here with 14.8 to go. 3-possession game now, so not looking great for the Mustangs. So if they would have hit a couple threes, Don, with, say, 2 minutes to go, this could have been very different.
Well, I think a factor now they won't foul is they have a 3-hour bus ride ahead of them back up to San Luis Obispo.
Well, and again for Cal Poly, a team that didn't see an 80-point game for or against in regulation last year. They can see 80 on both sides tonight. And UCLA just might see the daylight of a victory now, squaring things up at 1-1. But boy, they got a challenge tonight.
But again, a veteran, athletic, mid-major team that was game here. UCLA was definitely better, but the most important thing is they got the win.
Another 3 from Morgan, and it's not a win quite yet, though it looks like a very strong possibility now. Hit 1 free throw, and that's cement.
Well, if Morgan had hit those 2 threes he just hit about, and you said it, Josh, about 2 minutes ago, things might be different. But it's too little, too late for Cal Poly.
Pure shooter, missed a couple of free throws, too, right at the end. So here's Hamilton, who, again, tantalizingly close to, of all things, a triple-double tonight. 7 assists, 9 rebounds as a career best for him. There's point number 11.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, UCLA plays Thursday, so they got a few days But then they go about a week to Maui. Face some stiff competition.
Rolls out at the horn on Meikle, and your final is going to be 88-81. UCLA is